And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for this past week's Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6. And before I begin, reminding you right now, if you haven't caught up to the Mandalorian, big spoilers here, super big spoilers for this episode in particular. So if you haven't caught up, it's especially Episode 6, go back and watch episode 6 before you can watch this video, because I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of things and what can this mean moving forward with the episode. So let's start. So last time we saw Mando, he found Ahsoka Tano, and Ahsoka Tano introduced Baby Yoda properly to Mando, which his name is Grogu. So there's that, Grogu, or if you want to call him Baby Yoda, fine. Everybody still calls him that. Grogu is. It's still going to be hard to get used to that, but still, that's his name, Grogu. So she's like, hey, listen, he's cool, he's powerful. However, I can't train him. However, I do know a place where you can take him to go to find a Jedi. There's this magical rock that he will find the Force energy he needs to contact any kind of Jedi who would listen to his beacon. Basically, is kind of like a E.T. phone home kind of situation. If you guys remember that movie E.T., E.T., he goes and builds like a machine to contact his alien race to come find him, kind of like that. So Mando takes Baby or Grogu to this planet, which it's just a regular kind of like forest, rocks, kind of typical planet, nothing too major here, but it does have this specific mountain where it's kind of like Stonehenge, if you know that really famous ancient landmark, kind of like that, but it's got this big rock in the center of it. So he places Grogu there, and Grogu just like starts meditating, and then I guess like a Force energy pops up, and he just starts meditating, and it seems he's contacting somebody. Who he contacts, we still don't know. However, when he gets there, he noticed a ship approaching his location, and at first he's like, okay, things are gonna get dicey. Let me go check it out, see what's going on. He wanted to get Grogu out of there right away, but fortunately, the force field that he was on kind of blocked him from even getting near Grogu. So he decided to leave him there while he would just go check out the situation. And then, to all our surprise, and of course, we find out that the person who followed him there, because remember, he does have a tracking device on his ship, but even he didn't know at that point. And we find out it's Boba Fett. Boba Fett has been tracking him since, I guess, day 1 or episode 1. So we all know that the guy in the mountaintop who was watching him is officially Boba Fett. We all know that. Got to see Boba Fett, and he's like, listen, been tracking you. I want to help. I want my armor back. That's all I want. So he's like, no, I'm not sure if you're Mandalorian. You're not supposed to have this, and all that stuff. Then, of course, stormtroopers show up, and then the fight happens. The big fight. Oh, yeah, by the way, I forgot one important detail. Boba Fett was not alone. He brought back, if you guys remember that bounty hunter from the first season who was played by Ming Wu. I probably butcher her name. The actress who plays Melinda May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She came back. She's kind of like half robot now. So that was cool. I'm kind of glad they brought her back for this episode. She started helping them out. They all fight the stormtroopers, and then of course Boba Fett gets his armor back. He puts on the armor, and we get to see Boba Fett kick some butt like he usually does. And by the way, he does have Slave One, so there's that. He does have his ship. Unfortunately, Mando loses his ship when the bad guys, or the Empire, sends out the Death Troopers. The Death Troopers are pretty much those robots that we saw in a couple episodes before Ahsoka, where we didn't know what they were in that secret laboratory. Apparently, they're kind of like Iron Man kind of thing. They fly kind of like Iron Man. And they're just big stormtrooper robots. They're not really, stormtroopers. They're just like robots. So at the end of the episode, they end up taking Baby Yoda or Grogu to the ship. And then, of course, they blew up Mando's ships, pretty much trying to get him stranded to that planet. And now they have to set up a rescue operation to get Grogu back. And then, of course, we got to see Grogu at the end try to resist the Empire, showing off his Force powers. He hold off his own as much as he can, but he's very young. He's very small. He does get tired easily, so he couldn't really hold it too long. And he collapsed. And, they stunned him, and then they locked him up. So Grogu's now with the Empire, or with the bad guy with the Death Sword. He has him now. What's he gonna do with them? No idea. We have to wait to see what happens this Friday. But it was a great episode. First of all, the action in that thing was cool. We got to see more stormtroopers just being stormtroopers, them shooting their blasters and failing miserably. And then we got to see Mando team up with Boba Fett. Boba Fett, to everybody in Star Wars, is like the most badass assassin, bounty hunter you can ever see in Star Wars. First of all, he barely had any lines in Star Wars. Yeah, he had a couple lines here and there, and he barely did anything too. But what made Boba Fett so fascinating in the original Star Wars movies is that mystery of who he was. And then, of course, we saw the prequels, and then we kind of knew who he really was. It was Jango Fett's clone as a kid, or his son, if you want to be more technical. Jango Fett was killed by Mace Windu. We didn't know what happened to Boba. He grew up. Obviously, he becomes Boba Fett if you go back and rewatch those movies. So, yeah, so that's that. But still, when people who grew up watching the very first time seeing Star Wars, like back in the 1970s, and Empire, when we first see him in Empire, it's like, who is this guy? Nobody knew who he was. He was just this badass bounty hunter who was like, okay, I'll go find Han Solo. We didn't know who he was. He was just some cool looking bounty hunter. I was like, all right, this guy's cool. Got a jetpack on. He's got a missile launcher and everything. He actually used the missile to try to shoot down. He shot down one of the planes, the ships. He did. That was awesome. And but the mystery of Boba Fett was so awesome. A lot of people were like, are we gonna see a Boba Fett show with him taking off his helmet? Do we want that? If we didn't have the prequels, I would have said, this episode, why would you show us his face? He shouldn't have just kept his face covered and then got his helmet back, and then we could have kept the mystery of who he really was. But since we have the prequels and we know where he comes from, it kind of destroys the mystery of Boba Fett. But hey, we still love Boba Fett. He's still a badass. The guy can pretty much do anything. I kind of want a spin-off show of just him. Maybe after the Sarlacc pit, him falling into it and then supposedly dying, and then how he got out of there and what he's been doing since Mando found the armor and up to this point. Kind of want to see that. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day. And the actress that played Melinda May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she was great. We finally figured out who was that person who went to her body, because we all thought she died, but then there was some mystery body. Somebody walked right up to her, and then it just went to black, and that was Boba Fett the whole time. So that was cool. He fixed her up. She's kind of still a badass sniper, so there's that. And it was just a good episode, and more of a tense episode. Now we have to wonder what's going to happen to Grogu. Are they he's going to be okay? Are they going to kill him? What's going to happen? Now we're going to have to wait till next week's episode, or this week, depending on what time you're watching it. This video, but it should be an interesting one. Hopefully, Mando gets the other people who helps him out to help him out. Now that he's got Boba Fett and the other girl helping him out, so he went back to Gina Rodriguez to try to get help from her to find this prisoner. So maybe he's gonna have to break out some prisoner to help him find Moff Gideon. That's who it is. See, now I remember. Moff Gideon has Grogu now, so he has him. He has the Darksaber. So yeah, Moff Gideon has him. So now they gotta go find him. So now we just gotta wait and see what happens. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode, and what do you think is gonna happen moving forward? What do you think they want Grogu for? Do they want his blood? Remember, they wanted something. They wanted his DNA for something. Still don't know. Apparently, the theory is that this sets up him. How the Emperor comes back for episode 9. Spoiler alert. And Who knows? Who knows? And also, who do you think Baby Yoda was? Grogu was talking to with the Force. Do you think he was talking to Luke, Kylo Ren, Obi-Wan? Who knows? I mean, Obi-Wan's at this point a Force ghost, so it's possible. Who knows? Or maybe even Yoda, or his mother. Maybe Yoda is his father and Yaru is his mother. Who knows? Or maybe some other Jedi. Maybe there's another Jedi. Maybe Mace Windu's alive. We don't know. Hopefully we'll find that soon, if we find that at all. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Stay tuned for more, and thank you very much, and have a good day.